All right, going to talk about my trades for the last couple of days. 4 trades, or 4 tickers, 1 long, 3 shorts, coming up next. All right, we're back. I'll start with yesterday. I went long and short on ASTC. So this one hit my high a day scanner. By the time I seen it, typed in the ticker on my trading platform, and I used the hotkey to enter. I entered long at $3.09 right here, and immediately sold into this push right here at sold at $3.34. So and then I had a hard yank back. It looked like it was gonna go again. Got rejected at the high of day, pulled back when it made a lower high right here. A lot of these lately, it seems like we've had these morning spikers. I mean, we've been in a weak overall market, so it seems like a lot of these morning spikers, they'll spike for 2 or 3 minutes and then immediately just fade off and fail. So I've been a little bit more aggressive about shorting these morning spikers. So this thing, when it put in a lower high here, I got short at 307, and then it broke trend and it came down, and I covered at 282, which I could have held longer. I think I covered, I can't remember exactly. I think I covered into maybe one of these candles because I thought it looked like it was curling back up. And this is a low float, so this thing could take off. So that's why I didn't get out. I should have got out some in the 270s, but anyways. So yeah, that was ASTC. Next one, PIXY. This is yesterday's price action. By the time I was done with ASTC, I seen PIXY. PIXY was trying to break out high a day, but failing. And when it failed to get that high a day breakout, I got short at $3.42. I think I got short on this candle right here. Maybe not. Maybe this one. I can't remember exactly. It was this one right here. And then it faded down, and I covered a little bit too early, but I covered at 330. I covered half at 330, and then I covered the other half at 321. So I got a pretty good exit on the second one. So that was PIXY. Not a lot of range. I'm glad I took profits quick on that one. I would have been waiting and watching this all. The next one I traded yesterday was ECYT. This was my biggest winner of the day. This one took a lot of patience. So in the morning, it has this dip down, goes red on the day. We'll just look at it closer. It has this dip down, it bounces, and when it bounces, I actually got short at, I actually kind of chased it at 980. I shorted at 980. I chased it down here. That was kind of an emotional short. And then when it started bouncing, I thought to myself, all right, this thing is going to bounce. You know, I can expect, you know, this thing to bounce to maybe 990. A 50% retracement at least. So I basically got out break even at 980 when it started to bounce. And then I waited for it, and whenever I couldn't get through 990 convincingly, I got short at 987. So I got a little bit better entry there. And then I held it all day. Held it all day. I finally got out we look at the afternoon, so it hit a low of 984. I almost took it off right here, which I didn't. I was being greedy, and it was started to bounce. It put in a lower high here, so I started to get a little bit nervous when it put this lower high in, and I got out at 914, right in here, when it put the lower high in. So so that was yesterday. So then today, I traded ECTY again, because if you look at the daily chart, so let's look at this daily chart, 3 months. All right, so this thing right here, multi-day support right here in like the low 9s, and when it broke that yesterday, I think that we're looking at quite a bit more downside on this stock. I didn't want to hold it overnight. I don't like overnight risk, but I mean, this thing I think has got some more downside. It may take a while for it to go down though. So, but I think this is pretty. If you notice, if you also look at it on the daily chart, the RSI, it's under 60 now. So this is a bearish symbol. I mean, so I think we've got quite a bit more room to come down, maybe to around the, well, if you look at the, let's look at 1 year on the daily. I mean, this thing could come back here to the 6s. So that's kind of where my goal, where I'm thinking this thing is going to come down to, is maybe the 6s. So previous support on the daily chart. You got lots of room on the RSI. So yeah, so then I shorted it again today. Let's go back to today. This one I didn't do as well. This morning it has the flush down. It bounces, and I got short on this bounce at 887. So right in here, the bounce started to fail. Right in here, in the second little bounce, I got short. 887, not that great of an entry, but whatever. And then it went all the way down here. It put the double bottom in. I don't know why I didn't get out right there when it put the double bottom in. It came back. I let it run, and then I started to get nervous. It pulled back, and when it pulled back, I got out. I got out at 867. Right in here, I got out on this pullback. I did a good job of not, when it started pushing into this right here, I did a good job of waiting instead of getting an emotional sell, selling into the strength or covering into strength. I waited for a pullback and got out. So that was a good move on my part. And then the last one that I traded yesterday and today is INNT. This is probably my this is one of my bigger winners last couple days. So if you look at the daily chart on this thing, it is, there we go. This thing's gone from, it's a low float. It's gone from the 5s all the way to the 30s. It had 4 up days, 4 green days, breaking out, and so if we go, let's go back to, I actually traded this one on Monday too. 5-day, 5-minute chart. So here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I traded this one on Monday. I shorted into this right here, into this little ramp, and I covered pretty quickly right here. So I caught a piece of it right here. And then today, or yesterday, it spiked up again. I missed it in the morning, and then I noticed midday that it was going towards high a day. So I shorted into this high a day, expecting high a day to be resistance. So, and it was perfect resistance. Let me see here. I had a really good entry on this. I got some at 32.69 and at 32.38. This thing had like a 50-cent spread. So what I would do is I would put my entry in kind of closer. I'd put my short entry in closer to the ask and just hope that I got a fill. And so, yeah. So then whenever it pulled back, I covered some at 31.67. So I covered into this pullback. And 30.80 is where I got out some more. I got out some more right there. And then I held the rest. I held the rest overnight. So I covered some more too into this flush, and I covered like, I don't remember the exact shares. I think I covered like a third right in here, or I covered like a third here, and then I covered like a fourth here. So I had a small position. I remember going overnight. I only had like 75 shares left, holding overnight. So this morning, when it started to spike into this resistance zone, I shorted more right here. I think I took like total of like, I think I had like a total of like 300 shares. So about a $10,000 position. And then I covered some here into this flush into the low 28s. And then I covered some more. I think I covered the rest down here in the low 26s. So I covered in pieces multiple times. I remember I covered some here, some in here, and then some in the very bottom. And then midday, I thought to myself, I was watching this thing, and I thought to myself, I should short this again, because I was watching it, and it's going sideways all day long, and it's going sideways, and I was telling myself I should short this, but I didn't because I was tired. I didn't sleep a whole lot. I wanted to take a nap, and I didn't feel like watching the last couple of hours of the day. But I was right. I was on the right track. If I would have shorted more right here, because this thing could not bounce and it could not do anything, so I would have made some more. Look at that, from the 27s all the way down to 22. Man, this thing really fell apart today. So if I was really thinking, I should have held on to some of my shares back here instead of covering all of it. But whatever, you can't trade them perfectly. You know, I made on this trade alone, I made like $800. So I mean, that's pretty good overall.